So we've known for a while now that EA Sports College Football is going to have real players in the video game for us to play with, but we got a little bit of more information. This is coming from Matt Brown, of course, but this was actually sent to me on Instagram. If you don't follow the Instagram, it's at Bring NCAA Back. And so one of my followers actually sent this to me, and he DM'd Matt Brown, and Matt Brown was nice enough to answer some questions for him. Now, most of it had already been stuff we'd covered before that we'd already heard, but this was actually new information to me that we're about to cover, and it's not anything massive. It's not, massive gameplay news. I know some people are tired of just covering these small little details, but I'm interested in it, and it's all we have for now, and I know y'all are interested in it, so I'm going to continue covering these smaller things until we get something bigger. But my follower, his name's Muhammad, he DM'd Matt Brown and said, so obviously it's looking more and more likely we'll have real players in the game, which is true. We're definitely having real players in the game. And he said, can we expect real face scans for some of the bigger name players? And Matt Brown replied, a few of them, yes. I'm told that is the intention. And then he says, but very much not the rank and file, which means basically the majority, the generic, everyday players, they're not going to get these face scans. But some of these bigger name household names, they may get face scans. So that is news to me. Like I said, we definitely knew and we know that there's going to be real players in the game, but I didn't expect them to have face scans. There's way too many players for that, and they're wearing helmets, so it's really not that important. But still, it's super cool to see that at least a handful of players are going to get face scans. My guess is they're going to be some of these bigger named athletes, like let's just say Caleb Williams, for whatever stays in college, doesn't go to the NFL. Like he would probably be one, and they would use him for marketing purposes. And they would say, hey, look, Caleb Williams is in the game, and they would show his face in the game, something like that. So, nothing, not breaking crazy news, but pretty cool that we'll see at least a few players with face scans in the game. Now, Matt Brown goes on to say, EA intends to pay for the NIL, which includes non-face scan data of every single scholarship FBS player, meaning that every FBS player that is on scholarship is eligible to be put into this game. Like it'll be their height, their weight, their number, just like we had in the previous games, only this time EA won't get sued over it. And they can actually put their name on the back of the jersey and on the rosters where they couldn't do that before. Now, we already knew a lot of this information. The face scans is really what's new, but I find it interesting how EA is going about this. If a lot of y'all don't know how EA is getting all these players into the game, they're not going to reach out to thousands. I mean, there's thousands of FBS scholarship players they would have to reach out to individually and then negotiate how much they're going to get paid to be in the game. And I need to pull out the receipts because I originally said once NIL got passed, that the easiest way for EA to do this would simply make it an opt-in for players, meaning there would just be basically a sign-up for players to sign up, and then they would be put into the game if they want to be put in the game. And EA would basically say, hey, look, if you want to be in the game, sign up. This is how much we're paying you. If you want more than that, then too bad. You just won't be put in the game because there's no way they can negotiate individually with that many players. And that's actually exactly what EA is doing. And multiple players have even come out and tweeted and said, I don't even care if I get paid. I just want to be in the game. That's cool enough. That's enough payment just being in the game. So, it makes sense that players want to be in the game. They want to play with themselves in a video game. That's one of the coolest things ever that most people don't get the chance to do. So it only made sense to basically just have a sign up for players to sign up if they want to be in the game. And like I said, that's exactly what EA is doing. They have an opt-in program for players to opt in to be into the game. And there were reports from last year that said that these players were only going to get paid $500 to be in the game. Now, we don't know if that's entirely accurate. Those were just rumors. But, that would make sense. There's so many players, they can't pay them that much money. So that goes along with the opt-in program. If they want to be in the game, they can choose to be in the game. If they don't like how much they're getting paid, they don't have to opt in to be into the game. And that's why Brander, the NIL licensing group, sued EA in the first place They said that these players were getting paid too little, that it was far below market value, which to some extent is true. Like, these players aren't getting paid that much. They're honestly worth more than that. However, I don't see how you could sue over that when these players are voluntarily signing over their NIL to EA to be in the game. And that's what EA said. We have that here in this IGN article where EA emailed IGN, and they said, "We've been clear from the beginning that this suit had no merit." They're talking about the lawsuit from Brander. "Our focus continues to be on directly licensing individual college athlete name and likeness rights through an opt-in program that will give college athletes the choice if they want to be in our game." And then for those who for some reason still believe this game isn't coming out, they said, "We're pleased to move on from these claims and look forward to delivering EA Sports College Football in summer 2024. So there it is again. This game's clearly coming out this summer. But that kind of explains how EA is even getting all these players in the game. We don't know the exact, method, but it could literally be as simple as it is a link, like a Google sign-up sheet with a password protected so guys like me don't somehow get my hands on it. But then they literally just go in there, sign up. They probably put their team, their name, and then from there, EA can contact them to get more specifics. But they probably have to, through that opt-in program, they obviously have to sign over their NIL rights to EA. And they agree to whatever contract that is, and they're voluntarily opting into the game. So I don't see, again, how Brander could, file a lawsuit over that, and that's why this got dismissed in the first place. So like I said, I really do need to pull out the receipts. I can't remember if I posted it or if I said it in a video, but I remember saying they just need to make it to where the players voluntarily sign up, because then there's no issue there. Like as we said previously, lots of players said they would gladly be in the game for free. They just want to be in the game. So there's going to be some players that hold out. Maybe some of the bigger players, they're like, hey, I'm worth more than $500 or whatever. I'm worth more than the second string or the third stringer. But for the most part, I think the majority of these guys are going to be in the game. Like I said, being in the game is payment enough. Like, these guys just want to play with their own character, their own player themselves in the game. So a little bit of new information there about the face scans. That's super cool to see. It'll be interesting to see which players get that. But we're only 5-6 months away from this game. I'm assuming here, and I know Matt Brown said this March, April, we're going to start hearing a lot more from EA about this game. We'll get a trailer, a month or so out from the game release. But we're hopefully hearing something before the end of the national championship. So I'll definitely keep y'all updated. And I can't freaking wait for this game.